Hey guys, Pieguyrulz here, and welcome back to the second of the Korra vlogs. Today we'll be covering Civil War Part 1. Um, so, yeah, there's gonna be a war. And I'm not really against there being another war, I just kind of wanted to see something else happen. Um, because, we've seen war. The entirety of the first series was war. The first season of the second series was war. I was hoping that the second season here could be something aside from war. But no, it's Civil War. And that is also different. And I guess the way it's justified is that this is the beginning of a war. This isn't the end of a 100-year war. This isn't, a rebellion uprising in a major city. This is a civil war, and there's straight up allegory to go with it. In addition to there being a north and a south fighting against each other. You can just feel the American history, especially when that rich guy is all like, we need our freedom. You can definitely tell what they were channeling right there. Um, Although that's actually, I guess that's more Revolutionary War, but seeing as this is the series that's allegory for America's history, even if it is a bit jumbled up right now. It's cool that they throw those things in, and I think it's portrayed pretty well. Honestly, I think the one side kind of moves in and says, "No, we're not gonna fight you. We're not taking over." But we're gonna tell you what you're doing is wrong, and you need to do what we tell you. And the other side's like, no, the only way we can get our freedom back, force. And that's how a civil war starts. Um, there was good intentions and everything. So yeah, I'm not terribly disappointed, but at the same time, it could be a lot. There could be something else going on, and maybe this won't happen the entire season. There's only Civil War Part 1 and 2, and as of Part 1 here, Civil War hasn't really started. It seems like the events that are going to start the war really happened in the end of this episode. Um, so that's all Korra stuff. Now on Tenzin's side, this is interesting stuff. The whole how did Aang raise his family? Like, you wouldn't expect the Avatar to be so unfair to his children, I guess. Um, and it's understandable because Tenzin's the Airbender. Tenzin's seems to be the most kind of cool-headed, closer to Aang. Not that Aang was super serious all the time, but I'm sure Tenzin wasn't as a kid. Um, it's kind of natural that Aang would bond with Tenzin, and show Tenzin things that the others really couldn't do without airbending. And then similarly, you have a problem with Boomy, where he's a non-bender in a bending family. Like, what do you do with that? And then Kaya's kind of off to the side, like, is she not important too? And da 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 da. So, and I think she's got middle child syndrome. Actually, I don't remember if it's her or Tenzin, but it sounds like she's got middle child syndrome, because I know Boomy's the oldest. Um, so yeah, that is all very interesting and very very real. That is very much a real family right there. That has problems with favoritism and some children being special, some children just not having special abilities that the other ones had. That's family. What is going on? I don't care. That's family 101 right there. Um, so that's all super interesting to hear about. Okay, this season is the funniest. I don't know if it's funnier than Avatar. I don't know if I can say that, but it's definitely funnier than Book One of Korra. Funnier than at least Book One of Avatar. Probably Book Two and Three. This is like, seriously. They have a number of characters that are absolutely hilarious. Milo, of course, is funny. Uh, the rich guy, I can never remember his name, is like so over the top, and it's great. The creepy twins and Bolin thing, and of course Boomy, takes after his namesake, I suppose. Um, and it's funny because all of these characters, none of them, aside from maybe Milo, is unimportant. They didn't sacrifice the importance of a character just to make him funny. The really extravagant rich guy is like one of the guys that starts the rebellion. He's important. He does things. He might be funny. He might be partially comic relief. And he might be super over the top and flamboyant, but he's not. just a character they wrote in. Whenever this character's on screen, it's jokes, jokes, jokes. And I mean, you could argue that with Bolin, I guess, but he's also still kind of part of the core Korra group. Um, and I'm sure he'll have more to do when stuff actually starts happening. We're a lot in the talky portion of the season, and that's fine because I wouldn't like it if the show just kind of started out with being like, oh, civil war between the North and the South. Avatar, stop it. So yeah, there's that. As far as the uncle goes, Korra's uncle, from the start, you're not sure how to feel about him because he does encourage Korra in ways that her father and Tenzin don't. And it's not that they don't care about her, it's not that they don't believe in her. It's just he shows it a lot better than they do, and that's important, for developing children and stuff and teenagers and everything. Um, this is getting into like family 101 with Pie Guy here, but no, it's important, and he was kind of starting out to be a good father figure for her, a good mentor for her. But you kind of get glimpses of not mean spiritedness, not like control or anything. You get glimpses of something. You kind of see that he's not a black and white character, and the show portrays it. It doesn't portray it like you would portray Zuko's uncle from Avatar. You clearly see that there's something up with this character and something up with this relationship with Korra that's not necessarily healthy. Um, because he starts in this episode, it really starts to show, really starts to shine through. You're uneasy from the start, but here it goes because he's telling Korra what to do, first of all. He really is. He's telling her to not, take a side, to just kind of bring peace. That's not what Korra wants to do. And I don't know whether it's the right thing to do as the Avatar, but either way, he's still telling her what to do, which is her big problem with her other mentors. Um, so there's that, and you start to get some vibes of he's the harsher of the brothers because Korra's father wouldn't go ahead and hurt anyone. He wouldn't participate in the rebellion. He wouldn't do that, and I love that reveal that it wasn't him. That's great, because it would have been so obvious and so cop outy if it was. Um, so it's very interesting up until the very last bit of this episode where it kind of really starts to say, hey, listen, this is the bad guy. He's not he's trying to tear the family apart. He's got his own motivations and is manipulating Korra like everyone else. So I don't know. I hope they don't go that route. I hope they don't go super evil with him. I hope they don't turn him into the Fire Lord. I mean, you can kind of see it when he's sitting in his palace there, sitting on his throne. He kind of looked like the Fire Lord a little bit. But I really hope they don't do that. I hope they keep him a complex character with, interesting motivations and not just, I'm taking over the Southern tribe because they need to be taken over. I mean, at least his motivations are pure or seem pure. But yeah, that's all I have to say about this episode. So yeah, I will see you in the next one, which is Civil War Part 2. Really great naming, guys. Pieguyrulz, out.